Here we will see unique constraint in SQL Server. The unique constraint ensures that we cannot enter duplicate values into the column. That is, the data stored in the column is unique among the rows in the table. We can create a unique key on both single and multiple columns. For example, the student's email address and roll numbers in the student table should be unique. The unique key allows inserting null values in the table. Although it accepts null values, SQL Server only allows one null value per column. It maintains the integrity of a column or set of columns used to store various values in a table. Unique key is useful for preventing duplicate values from being stored in the column between two records. It only keeps different values to ensure the database integrity and reliability when retrieving data in a structured manner. It can also be used in conjunction with a foreign key for maintaining table's uniqueness. It is possible for the table to have a null value. Syntax for creating a single unique key column is create table, then table name, then column with data type and column with data type and the constraint unique. For example, create table person1 where ID field is defined as a unique. So ID int unique, then first name varchar 50 and last name varchar 50. Here it will create a table person1 with ID field as a unique. We can create a unique key column using constraint keyword. It is advisable to provide the constraint name while creating a table. If we don't provide a constraint name, SQL Server will generate its name automatically. For example, create table person1 with field ID as integer, first name, last name, and we'll add the constraint with constraint keyword as constraint, then unique ID and unique for the field ID. With the help of unique constraint, it is easier to display the error message and you can reference the constraint name when you want to modify it. We can create multiple unique key columns while creating a table. General syntax is create table, table name, then columns and the constraint with constraint name and the keyword unique with number of columns. For example, create table person1 with fields ID of type integer, first name, last name, email, and we will add a constraint as constraint with constraint name and unique ID and email. Here it will apply unique constraint for ID and email field. We can create a unique constraint to existing column. When you add a unique constraint to an existing column or group of columns in a table, SQL Server first examines the existing data in these columns to ensure that all values are unique. If SQL Server finds the duplicate values, then it returns an error and does not add the unique constraint. General syntax is alter table, table name, then add constraint with constraint name unique and the column name. For example, alter table person1, add constraint last name and unique last name. Here this last name is a constraint name and this last name is a field name. To delete a unique constraint, use the alter table drop constraint statement. General syntax is alter table, then table name, drop constraint and constraint name. For example, alter table person1 and drop constraint last name. We can also create a unique constraint using SQL Server Management Studio. For this, from Object Explorer, open the table where you want to add a unique constraint and from Table Designer menu, select indexes or keys and from index keys, select add and then select type and choose unique key from the drop down list box and then save the table. Now we will add this unique constraint to the table. For this we will create table person1 with field ID which is integer and we will set this field as unique. Then first name as varchar, comma last name as varchar. And we will execute this. It will create table person1. To check this, we will refresh this. Here person1 table is added. Now we will create another table person2 with to define constraint. Then we will create another table person2 for defining unique constraint using constraint keyword. So person2 with field ID as integer, first name as varchar, last name as varchar and we'll add constraint as constraint with constraint name unique id and with keyword unique for the field id. Here we will give comma, and when we execute this, it will add another table person 2. Now we will create another table person 3 and we will add constraint for 2 fields. So we will add field as id with type integer, then first name as varchar, last name as varchar 50, then email, then we'll add constraint uid with unique id comma email, and when we execute this, it will create another table person 3 with unique constraints for id and email. Now we'll add constraint to existing column using alter table. So alter table for table person 3 and we'll add constraint for field last name with unique, and we will execute this. It will add constraint for the field last name. We can drop the constraint using alter table. So alter table, table name person 3, drop constraint last name. When we execute this, it will drop the constraint last name from the table. We can add or remove the constraint using SQL Server Management Studio. For this, open the table in the design mode. For this, right click on the table name. Then select the field where you want to add constraint. Then right click here, select indexes and keys. From there, select add, and from type menu, select unique key constraint and close it. It will add a unique key constraint for the field id.